One of Cape Town's most iconic buildings might turn into a church, but not just any church. A 135 million rand from a bid from a national or foreign pastor is on the table, and Gayton McKenzie stepped in saying, "Not on my watch." So now the whole country is asking, well, what exactly is going on here? Welcome back. You understand, this is where we break down things simply, honestly, and in a way that it actually makes sense. So let me walk you through this, because at first it sounds like just another news story, but the deeper you go, the more questions starts coming up. Now here is where it begins. The Good Hope Centre in Cape Town, and if you are from Cape Town, you already know this place. It's not just a building, but it's been part of the city's heartbeat for years, hosting events, shows, and community gatherings. So it carries a lot of history, but now the city decided to put it up for sale, and that's where things take a turn. Because out of nowhere, a Nigerian pastor, John Anosike, steps in with a massive bid. We're talking about 135 million rand. And just like that, the idea comes up that this iconic space could become a church. Now pause there for a second, because legally, yes, anyone with money can bid, and that's how auctions work. But this is where the conversation starts to shift. The rise of foreign-led churches in South Africa. Now, let me be real with you. This is not about attacking faith. It's because faith is important and churches help a lot of people, but at the same time, there's been growing concerns because people start to feel like anyone can open up a church, and not all of them are doing it for the right reasons. You see pastors popping up everywhere, and some of them driving luxury cars, and some are selling miracles, and some even ask for money in ways that doesn't sit right with the ordinary people who are already struggling. So when this story came out, it doesn't just stay about one building. It opened up a bigger conversation, because people start asking, hold on, who is actually regulating all of this? And how is it that such big money moves can happen in the name of religion? And what does that mean for the everyday South African? Looking at the law, they are looking at the bigger picture. And that's when Gayton McKenzie enters the chat. Now you already know Gayton doesn't hold back. He speaks his mind. And this time was no different, because from his point of view, a place like the Good Hope Centre should remain for arts, culture, in the community, to be not to be turned into a private religious space.
How many of you heard that Good Hope Centre has been sold? We bought it.
Bodies, there will be no Nigerian church there. I'm saying it now today. There will be no Nigerian church there. You're not going to take arts, culture, spaces and give to Nigerian churches. That one will not happen. I'm telling you today, let them make a noise about the Nigerian pastor. Happen. So that pastor, my advice to him, Oga, take your money and invest in Nigeria, because we will never give you peace there. I'm telling you today.
Now on the other side, Pastor Anosike is saying, listen, this was a legal process. We followed rules and we have every right to bid like anyone else. And you would understand from a legal standpoint, he's not wrong, but this is where the law and public feeling don't always agree, because for many South Africans, it's not just about what is allowed, but what feels right. And that's why this story is hitting as hard as it is. Because it's not just about Gayton McKenzie, it's not just about one pastor, it's about control. It's about influence, and it's about whether the system we have in place is strong enough to protect public spaces and also ensure accountability. And while all of this is happening, the deal itself is not even fully done yet, because the city still needs to go through its processes before anything is final. So right now, nothing has officially changed, but the conversation, that's already taken off. And ladies and gentlemen, that's the part we cannot ignore, because sometimes a single story reveals a much bigger issue underneath. And maybe, just maybe, this is one of those moments where South Africa has to stop and ask, are we doing enough to regulate the business side of the religion? Or are we only reacting when something big like this is happening? Because If there's one thing this situation has shown us, is that people are watching, people are questioning, and people want answers. And trust me, this one is not going anywhere anytime soon.